Hello, how are you? I'm a little tired. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is July 13th, 2023. It's on Thursday and sunny outside. But according to the weather forecast, uh, it is up to rain from noon. Let's wait and see. But for your support, I couldn't have achieved my goal. But for water, we could not live. But for water, we could not live. But for oxygen, we could not live. But for water, we could not live. But for water, we could not live. We couldn't live. Hmm. But for the internet, we couldn't communicate with people living in other countries so fast. But for the internet, we could not get in touch with people living in other countries so quickly. We had a momentary heavy rain yesterday. We had a momentary heavy rain yesterday. We had a momentary heavy rain yesterday. It might happen today too. Let's see. Momentary heavy rain. Our area observed a momentary heavy rain. Our region observed momentary heavy rain. Our region observed momentary heavy rain. Momentary. Our region observed a momentary heavy rain. Our region observed momentary heavy rain. Observed. Our region observed momentary heavy rain. Momentary. 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 Momentary heavy rain is expected tomorrow. Momentary heavy rain is expected tomorrow. I suffer from momentary severe rash, itchiness on my skin. I frequently suffer from momentary itchiness on my skin. Momentary, both momentary and chronic. Momentary, 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 momentary. Such a momentary event. Momentary theft by the criminals. Momentary theft by the professional criminals. Momentary heavy rain. Momentary greetings between the two cars. Momentary meeting at the cafe. We had a momentary meeting at the cafe for lunch. Some busy workers are obliged to have a momentary lunchtime, like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Some busy employees are obliged to have a momentary lunchtime, such as 15 minutes or 20 minutes, or nothing. Momentary, momentary heavy rain, momentary sunny. Momentary splash of rain, momentary splash of rain. momentary contact with my friend at the cafe, momentary contact with my coworkers, momentary greetings with my friend at the supermarket, momentary greetings, just say hi to my friends at the supermarket, momentary greetings with my friend, just say hi, momentary, 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 moment. The obstacles, such as timber on the road, are in the way of pedestrians, in the pedestrian's way. The moment I entered the room, I felt something strange. The instant I entered the room, I felt something strange. The layout was changed by somebody. The instant she got home, she rushed to the refrigerator. The moment she arrived at the home, she rushed to the refrigerator. I was told to keep an eye on her belongings while she was at toilet. Although I didn't know her, she also didn't know me. We first met in the platform of the train station. I was surprised to be asked to keep an eye on a stranger's belongings for a moment while she was at toilet, although we didn't know both each other. I was surprised to be asked to keep an eye on her civilians and other belongings while she was at toilet, although she didn't know me and I also didn't know her. For a moment, 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 for a moment. For a moment, for a moment. I think some people are good at killing time for a moment by stopping by a convenience store, cafe, library, just walking and so on. Can you forego caffeine for a moment or forever? Can you forego caffeine for a moment? Can you forego cigarettes for a moment? While I was waiting for the rain to come down under the eave of a house or a rest house, for a moment we both met there. We both met there under the eave of the rest house while we were waiting for the rain to come down. For a moment, 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 I, I know a student who doesn't work on the test soon after the delivery, but he takes a break for a moment before starting his test. At the moment, the rain hasn't reached my area, but it will soon according to the weather forecast. So I'm already ready for, I'm prepared for that. I'm ready for that. At the moment, the things are going well. The things are going well so far. At the moment, the stock prices hasn't dropped. The stock price hasn't dropped. At the moment, the best-selling video game hasn't been sold out. So please hurry up. Don't pass up. Pass it up. At the moment, the best-selling video game hasn't been sold out, so please hurry up if you want to buy it. At the moment, we still have the best-selling video game, which has been released just today. I'm getting along with my coworkers so far at the moment. The things are going well at the moment. At the moment. Three members have been arrived at the moment. 3 members of the 5 have arrived at the moment. There are many vacant rooms available at the moment. Only reclining seat room is available at the moment. Only reclining seats are available at the moment. The other kinds of seats are occupied at the moment. When I invite a friend for eating something, he accepts at any time. When it comes to eating, he accepts at any time. When it comes to going for eating, he always accepts. He always accepts at any moment. One feature of a genius person, one feature of genius people might be keep thinking about particular field, particular thing at any moment, all the time. which will lead to breakthrough someday. At any moment, at any moment, at any moment. Considering the emergence of the dark clouds, it's about to rain at any moment. Given the dark clouds appearing from the distance, the heavy rain is expected at any moment. The heavy rain is about to rain. The heavy rain is about to drop. It's up to rain at any moment, at any moment, at any moment, at any moment, at any moment. Natural disasters can happen at any moment, so we have to be prepared for that. Accidents, incidents, or lucky things, happy things, everything can happen at any moment, so we have to be prepared for that. At any moment, at any moment, at any moment, at any moment, at any moment. Nowadays, seasonal fruits or vegetables are available at any moment, thanks to the development of technologies and development in agriculture. Thanks to the development of both agriculture and technologies, we can have access to seasonal fruits and vegetables at any time, at any moment, at any moment. Natural disasters can happen at any moment, at any moment. Heavy rain is about to strike the region at any moment. Heavy rain is about to hit the region at any moment. Given the dark clouds appearing from the distance, it's about to rain at any moment. At any moment. When it comes to eating, he never fails to accept at any time, at any moment. We Japanese bow to show respect to each other and as greetings. I bow as greetings to the person I meet. I saw a teacher bowing to the same height as the student, as a pupil, to scold him face to face, holding the both hands. When I bent down to hug my nephew, I straightened my back. The teacher bowed her legs to be the same height as the pupil, to scold her face to face, holding her both hands. The teacher bowed her legs to be the same height as the pupil, to scold her face to face, holding both hands. Bowing our position. To hide under the desk or under something firm, steady, solid. I learned to hide something under something firm when the earthquake happened. We had such a drill every year at school, but I don't know if it was the right way or right procedure when earthquake happened now, because common senses are changing. So we have to behave according to the situation with right information, procedures, and so on. We tend to bow our heads to respect to others and ask greetings. We tend to bow our heads to show respect to each other and ask greetings. Bow. After bowing to the person, she left the place. bow, bow. Is bow happening in your country frequently or commonly? Is bowing happening commonly in your country? Is bowing happening commonly in your country? Bowing your head. Bowing our heads to show respect to each other and as greetings are commonly happening in Japan. Bowing our heads to show respect to each other and to greet each other is normally happening, arising, arousing, coming about. Bow. Bow your waist. Bow your position. Bow your position so that you won't be noticed. The kindergarten teacher bowed her position to be the same height as the pupil and scolded her by holding both hands face to face. The kindergarten teacher bowed her position to be the same height as the pupil to scold her face to face. I bowed my position when the earthquake happened to be steady, to take a balance. I bowed my position to take a balance on the surfboard. I bowed my position to take a balance on the snowboard, skateboard. I bowed my position to take a balance on the skateboard, I bowed my legs to take a balance on the skateboard. I bowed my position to take a balance on the skateboard. I bowed my position. I bowed my legs to take a balance on the skateboard. The kindergarten teacher bowed her legs to be the same height as the pupil to scold her. I was sometimes super tired enough to bow my legs while working, while I was while I kept standing for a long time. I was so exhausted enough to have to bend down and bow my legs for a momentary rest. Bow, bow. I bowed my head to show respect to the person I met and to greet. I bowed my head to greet the person I met. I bowed my head to the person to show respect to the person I met. I bowed my head to greet the person I met. I bowed my head to greet the person I met. I bowed my legs so that people behind me could see the performance on the stage. I bowed my legs so that the audiences standing or sitting behind me could see the performance on the stage. Is bow happening commonly in your country? Or is it, do you find bowing strange? Do you find bowing strange? Do you think bowing strange? How do you regard bowing? How do you see bowing? How do you view regarding? How do you view bowing? Bow, 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 bow. What do you think of the bow? What do you think of bow as greetings? What do you think of bow as greetings? If only you treated me politely, I would have bought the stuff. If only you treated the customer politely, he wouldn't got angry. He wouldn't have got angry. If only you treated the customer politely, the customer would have bought the product politely. If only you treated the customer politely, the customer might have bought that. Politely. Politely. Close the door. Politely. I want all of the people in the world. Open and close the doors politely. 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 Polite. I want you to be more polite. I want you to play polite sound. I'm practicing it to sound more polite. To make my sound more polite. I have to make my sound more polite. I don't like nobody likes rude sound. So I think playing the musical instruments, especially piano, will bring out the personality of themselves by the sound. Polite, 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 polite attitude, polite attitude, polite letters, polite way of writings, polite way of writings, polite. Receptionists are usually very polite. Receptionists are usually very polite at the treatment for customers. Everything should start with politeness and end with politeness. Politeness. Politeness comes first. Nothing will start without politeness. I suppose nothing will start without politeness. Everything will start from politeness. Politeness is the base of everything. Politeness is the base of everything. It is the basement of the pyramids. Nothing cannot be built up on the politeness, under the politeness. Everything will collapse if the base is not strong enough. The base is the politeness. Politeness. I don't try to be prestigious. Do you want to be prestigious? Prestigious. I don't try to be a prestigious person. Prestigious, prestigious, prestigious. As soon as the prestigious person appeared in the park, many people flocked to the park. I wondered why so many people were gathering in the park. So that's why. Prestigious. Prestigious. Prestigious person. Prestigious company. Many people will choose the product produced by a prestigious company. Many people will choose to buy a product produced by a prestigious company. Not many people will buy a product produced by unknown companies. Prestigious. 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 Prestigious company does not necessarily mean suitable for you. The occupation or profession in the department of the prestigious companies does not mean it will be suitable for you. It will be a good environment for you. Working in a prestigious company does not mean that the environment is suitable for you. Prestigious. Prestigious. prestige, prestige. Don't spoil your prestige by engaging in the crime. Don't miss don't spoil your prestige by engaging in such a crime. Don't spoil your prestige by being involved in such a crime. Prestige, prestige. People with high prestige. Prestige, prestige, prestige. Some people with high prestige can spoil them by being involved in crimes. Some people with high prestige can commit a crime and spoil their careers. Some people with prestige can spoil their career by committing a crime. Prestige, 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 prestige. People with prestige are not necessarily reliable. People with prestige are not necessarily reliable. People with prestige are not necessarily reliable. Prestige, 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 prestige. Some people try to obtain prestige by achieving something great. One of the ways to obtain prestige is to keep doing. To keep doing services for the customer for a long time. One of the ways to obtain prestige is to have long services without less mistakes in the society. Long-lasting companies are usually reliable and they usually have the prestige. Prestige. Do you care about prestige when you buy a product? Is prestige one of the standards when you choose a product you buy? Is prestige one of the standards you think about when you buy a product? Is prestige one of the standards when you buy a product? Is the prestige of the company one of the standards when you buy a product? Stick to it. Can you stick to what you have promised forever? Can you stick to what you have decided? Can you stick to what you have decided? I think not many people can stick to what they have decided. I still stick to what I made a decision when I was 12 years old. I decided to study English forever gradually, little by little, when I was 12 years old, and I still stick to it. I stick with it. I stick to it. I keep a hold. I stick to it. I stick with it. I stand up for that. I still keep a word. I still keep my determination word. Stick to it. 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 I'm worried about my examination announcement, result announcement. I'm worried whether I can perform well in front of a lot of audiences. Stick to it. Stick to it. I am worried whether I can perform well in front of a lot of audiences. Stick to it. Stick to it. Stick to it. Stick to it. Go for it. Go for it. We have to be sometimes bold and go for it. We have to be sometimes bold and go for it, because the chance might not come back again. Because the chance might not come out again. Because the chance might not come out again. Because the chance might not come out again. Stick to it. Stick to it. Stick to it. Go for it. Stick to it. Go for it. Stick to 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 it. Passing the needle into such a small hole of the needle is super difficult. Passing the string or thread into such a small needle is very difficult. Are you good at it? I am super bad at such small things. I'm super bad at such a intricate small object things. Although the size of the mosquito is so small, but the flying sound is very big enough to makes me irritated. When the nurse stick the injection needle into my skin, I either look away or close my eyes. When the nurse inserts the injection needle on my skin, I either look away or close my eyes. When the nurse sticks the injection needle on my skin, I either look away or close my eyes. The kid claimed that he finished his homework, but he forgot to bring that to school. The student claimed that he had finished his homework but forgot to bring that to school. The victims claimed that the criminal escaped from the venue soon. The witnesses claimed that the criminal escaped from the venue soon after theft. The witnesses of the incident claimed that the criminal escaped from the watch store soon after the theft. I wonder how the enormous stone is taking a balance on the cliff. It's about to drop. I wonder how the huge stone is taking a balance on the cliff. I wonder how the enormous stone is taking a balance on the cliff. It's about to drop. I wonder how the enormous stone is taking a balance on the cliff. It's about to drop. It's up to drop. Enormous debt. The enormous debt was returned by hitting the lottery. The enormous debt was returned by winning the lottery. Enormous statue. Have you seen the enormous statue? With the height of 52 meters. I wish I had such enormous property as you. I wish I had such an enormous property as you. I wish I had as enormous property as you. I wish I had as enormous property as you. I wish I had as enormous property as you. I wish I had enormous property as you. Since I was alone in the guest house, the room and every amenities were at my disposal. Since I was alone in the guest house, so everything was at my disposal. Since I was alone in the guest house, so everything, including bathroom, dressing room, beds, kitchen, were at my disposal. And since I was alone in the guest house, so everything, such as kitchen, bathroom, were at my disposal. Mm. I'm at this room is at my disposal until 11 o'clock for the checkout time. This room is at my disposal until checkout time, 11 o'clock. This room is at my disposal until the checkout time of 11 o'clock. Now that I've bought the condominium, the property, garden, a veranda, and the wall are at my disposal. Now that I bought the house, the garden, garage are at my disposal. Now that I bought the house, the garden, garage, and equipment are at my disposal. The higher you climb the mountain, the colder the temperature will become. I experienced that at Mount Fuji. I felt very cool even at the fifth floor of the Mount Fuji, although it was in the middle of the summer. August, I felt cool on the fifth floor of the Mount Fuji, and I felt super cold at the summit of the Mount Fuji at the degree of about 0 degrees. 0 degree? I didn't know the information, so I brought a jacket with me, which was such a burden to bring with me, to go with me. But it was a correct prediction. It was super cold, and the jacket was not enough to cover my body, to cover the coldness. So next time I climb the Mount Fuji, I will bring more thick jacket, enough to make me warm. The more you practice, the better you become at. The more you practice the musical instrument, the better you become. The more you practice the musical instrument, the better you become at. The more you practice the musical instrument, the better you become at. The more you study, the more you will get knowledge. I wish I would not report to a stubborn boss. I wish I would not be allocated to a department with stubborn boss, obstinate boss. I hope I will not be allocated to a department with a stubborn, obstinate boss. I am usually isolated from others because I feel comfortable by being isolated from others. I feel stressed by being in a group. So it's better to be isolated from others, usually. But being isolated from others for a long time, forever, is lonely. Sometimes socializing is okay for me. But usually I prefer to be isolated from others, and sometimes socializing. The politician earned some time by beating around the bush when answering the questions. The politician earned some time by beating around the bush when answering the questions. Don't beat around the bush. Tell me quickly, directly, honestly, frankly. To be frank with you, to be frank with you, to be honest with you, to be honest, to tell the truth. I couldn't achieve the mission. Don't beat around the bush. Answer the question frankly, honestly, quickly. Some people beat around the bush to escape direct criticisms and so on. Some people beat around the bush to wish for something or to avoid making the atmosphere bad suddenly. And some people beat around the bush to avoid direct criticisms. And some people beat around the bush to avoid sudden irritation from others. And some people beat around the bush to avoid sudden irritation, anger, outrage, and so on. The politicians' answer, beating around the bush, made the citizens even angrier. The politicians' answering way of beating around the bush made the citizens even angrier. I am supposed to deliver a speech at the meeting. My boss is going to absent from the company with paid leave tomorrow for his son's graduation. So on behalf of him, I am supposed to deliver a speech at the meeting tomorrow. Are you supposed to deliver a speech tomorrow? Are you supposed to take a TOEIC test for your promotion? Are you supposed to welcome the employees from foreign branches? Are you supposed to welcome the foreign employees in a foreign branch? Are you supposed to welcome the employees from foreign branches at the airport tomorrow? We cannot predict perfectly. We cannot tell what will happen in the future. There is no knowing what will happen in the future. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. There is no knowing. There is no knowing. There is no knowing if the stock price will go up or down. in 1 minute. Just wait and see. We can predict, but there is no knowing perfectly if the stock price will ascend or descend. Just wait and see. I cannot wait and see, so I moved forward. I ran a risk. I took a risk. I couldn't wait and see, so I moved forward. I proceeded with that. I couldn't wait and see, so I proceeded with that. I went ahead with that. I usually cannot wait and see, so I proceed with that. I usually cannot wait and see, so I proceed by myself. I usually cannot wait and see, so I proceed on my own way, relying on my instinct. There is no knowing if the stock price will ascend or descend tomorrow. Only time will tell. 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 We didn't know. We couldn't expect how soon the pandemic would end. Only time told. We could not know when the pandemic would end. Only time told. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. We couldn't predict when the pandemic would end. Only time would tell. Only time would tell. Only time told. Only time will tell. 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 Have you handed in your report to the professor? Excuse me, when was the deadline for submitting the report to the professor? Because I'm afraid if I fail submitting the report to the professor. If I fail to submit, turn in the report by the deadline, I will have to take the same year again, which is very risky. Please hand in your report to your direct professor by the deadline, which will be assessed at your graduation. Excuse me, can I hand in the report by email? Or do I have to hand it in in person? Excuse me, can I turn my report in person or via email? Have you turned it in? Have you already turned your report in? Have you already turned your report in to the professor? Excuse me, when was the deadline for turning the report in to the professor? Excuse me, I forgot the deadline for submitting the report to the professor. Excuse me, I forgot the deadline for turning the report in. Please hand in the document after filling it out to the Windows C. Please hand in the filled out document to the Windows C. The staff at the Windows C will deal with the procedures. Thank you. Please hand in the documents after filling them out to the Windows B. First, please fill in the document and hand it into the window C. First, please fill in the document and turn it into the window A. I usually go to the destination by a train. I can also take a bus, but I easy to get motion sick, so the bus will be the last vehicle that I would like to take. The bus is the last option that I'd like to take. The bus is the last resort that I take. The bus is the last resort that I take because I easy to get motion sick, which was a nightmare for me. I will go by a train. I will go by a plane. I will go by a train. I will go by a plane or a train. I will go by a plane or a train. Could you send me the souvenir? Could you send me the object by express? By express, because I'm in a hurry. Okay, I will send you the object by express, but you have to pay extra. Okay. Okay. Could you send me the product I bought via express? Okay, but you have to pay extra. Okay. Okay. I was advised to arrive at the international airport no later than 2 hours before the departure time. I was advised to arrive at the international airport at least 2 hours before the departure. I was advised to arrive at the destination, international airport, at least no later than 2 hours before the departure. No later than 2 hours before the departure. Not later than 2 hours before the departure. And try to finish a pile of tasks not later than Friday. The train station is far from near from my apartment. The train station is anything but near from my house, but my German friend felt it so near. My German friend felt it very near. I never felt it near. The train station is anything but near from my house. The train station is far from near from my house, but my German friend felt it near, although it takes about 30 minutes on foot. I anything but like studying. I anything but like drinking alcoholic beverages. You are anything but stupid. You are anything but idiot. I am anything but professionals. I am anything but a professional. I am anything but a professional. I am anything but a professional. I am far from a professional. The University of Tokyo is anything but easy to enter. The University of Tokyo is anything but easy to enter. I am anything but diligent. I am anything but diligent. When it comes to the subject I am interested in, I can be diligent. When it comes to the subjects I am not interested in, I am anything but diligent. That's why I flunked the subject again. Have you ever flunked a subject when you were a student? Have you flunked a subject when you were a student? Yes. I studied so hard because I didn't want to flunk any subjects. I usually study so hard until I break my health for fear of flunking a subject. In case I should flunk a subject, for fear that I should flunk a subject. Lest I should flunk a subject. I don't want to flunk a subject and pay for the test again. I don't want to flunk a subject again. I usually study so hard until I break my health for fear that I will flunk a subject. Lest I should flunk a subject. For fear that I should flunk a subject. In case I should flunk a subject. I don't want to flunk a subject. I don't want to flunk a subject. That's too bad. Sorry to hear that you have flunked the subject needed for promotion. Sorry to hear that you have flunked the subject needed for the graduation. Sorry to hear that you have flunked the subject needed for proceeding to the upper grade. What did you write the thesis about? What about did you write about the thesis? What about did you write the thesis? What about did you write the thesis? I am not clever enough to be able to read a thesis. A thesis is beyond my understanding, comprehension, apprehension. I cannot make heads or tails of thesis. I cannot make heads or tails of thesis. Thesis. Are you working on a thesis in the cafe as usual? My friend from a different country was working on the thesis always at the same cafe. Thesis. More things I am working on will not make any sense. But working on the things everyone else doesn't make sense might be the key to breakthrough. Focusing on the things everyone else doesn't make sense about might be the key to achieving breakthrough. Focusing ourselves on the things, stuffs, which everyone else doesn't make sense, might be the key to accomplishing a breakthrough. The equation doesn't make sense for me. The equation doesn't make sense for me. I don't know. I cannot understand. I cannot make it stand up. I next to cannot understand. I cannot next to understand what you are meaning. The explanation written in the textbook doesn't make sense at all for me. So I directly went to my teacher to aim for conciser explanation. Because the explanation written on the textbook did not make sense at all for me. So I directly went to the teacher, aiming for conciser, simpler explanation. To begin with, wash your hands and rinse your mouth before eating food. To begin with, let me introduce myself to you. To begin with, let me introduce a new student. Please stop making an obscure answer. Please stop making a vague answer. Obscure. Obscure dream. Obscure purpose. With obscure purpose, you will not achieve it. Not obscure, but determined purpose you have to have. Obscure, vague, obscure, vague. Obscure, obscure, obscure and vague. Obscure. My decision to choose the major was obscure at that time. That's why I'm taking the different course now. I made an obscure decision when I went to the university. So I changed my mind during the days. I made an obscure decision on choosing which major I should take, which subject I should major in. I made an obscure decision when I chose the subject I have to major in, because I didn't know what to do at that time in those days. So I changed my mind and found my passion during the school days. Obscure, vague, concise, and simple are the evaluated point nowadays. Concise and simple are the recent trend and popularity. I had to write around 200 letters of essay in short time in the test. I had to leave some time for writing around 200 letters of essay in the test. The test consisted of reading, listening, writing part. Only those passing the paper test can go on to the next speaking test. Concise and simple are the recent trend. Concise. And since the explanation on the textbook was not concise at all, so I directly asked my teacher for conciser explanations. Lengthy explanation will be irritating. Simple and short explanation to the point will be welcomed. Lengthy, thick explanations I don't want. I don't want lengthy explanations. I just want concise explanation which is to the point without the explanation beside the point. Embarking on IoT might be to the point. Embarking on IoT and removing old systems might be to the point recently. Throwing away unwanted things might be to the point recently. Sticking to old way of thinking and systems might be beside the point recently. His answer is always to the point, without extra explanations. The audiences want a concise and to the point answer. The audiences want a concise explanation which is to the point. The audiences want a concise explanation which is to the point. Serving a cup of coffee after eating lunch is to the point. Serving a cup of coffee after us eating lunch is to the point. Giving only the summary for a short time is to the point for the busy businessman. Only giving a summary about the details of the book is to the point, especially to the busy person. Giving only the summary of the detail, giving only the summary of the informative books for a short time, like 30 minutes or 5 minutes, is to the point, especially to busy business people. Giving only the summary of informative books is to the point, especially to the busy business people. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you!